Hi, my name is Jeremy Tucker, and I'm the Director of Arts Education for Durham Public Schools. We are very lucky to have strong partnerships with many arts organizations throughout the Triangle. On today's segment of Partner Talks, we will speak to the Durham Arts Council to learn more about all of the programs and offerings that they have for Durham Public Schools teachers and students. The Durham Arts Council offers the creative arts in public and private schools, also known as CAPS. This program does so much for DPS by pairing professional artists into our schools to work directly with our students. We're so grateful to have Shana Adams with us. First, a little bit about Shana. Shana resides in Durham, North Carolina, where she has directed the CAPS program for 14 years. Shana earned her Bachelor's of Arts degree in voice at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro and a Master's in Arts Administration from the University of New Orleans. In her free time, she enjoys gardening, hiking, North Carolina nature trails, and practicing teaching sound healing. Welcome, Shana.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Shana, there is such a rich history with the Durham Arts Council. Would you just take a second and let all of our viewers know some of the highlights of the Durham Arts Council?
Well, Jeremy, the Durham Arts Council was founded back in 1954 as a private nonprofit dedicated to supporting the arts in Durham and the Triangle region. We do a variety of things. First and foremost, we are here to support artists and arts organizations in this community with opportunities to produce music, visual art, literary, media, dance, music, so that it can be shared with the community at large. We manage the Durham Arts Council building, which is located in downtown Durham as a multi-use arts center. We also operate the Clay Studio at the Northgate Mall. And one of our biggest programs is classes for the community for all ages, from toddlers to seniors, in the performing arts, visual arts, and literary arts. We also have a huge mission to raise public and private funds so that we can support artists and arts organizations within the community. And we exhibit visual artists in many of our galleries throughout the building. We also produce the Centerfest Arts Festival every year on the third weekend of September in downtown Durham. And this year we went virtual with that festival. And then we have our public and private schools program where we incorporate artists into the schools through the CAPS program.
I can speak for many of our teachers and students that we're so grateful to have teaching artists in our classrooms, even now virtually during COVID. It is one of our strongest, longest running partnerships in Durham Public Schools, and we value the arts immensely being integrated into our classrooms. So, Shana, you just went through a whole lot of things that the Durham Arts Council does. So why don't you tell our community what your role is?
So my role is to direct the CAPS program. So basically an intake of professional local artists who have an interest and background in sharing their creative art expertise with students in meaningful ways in the schools. And so these artists are known as teaching artists. And they create programming in the form of workshops, residencies, and performances. And these programs and experiences are crafted to be interactive and to not only teach an art form to students, but also to reinforce curriculum through the arts. So our programs interweave science, math, social studies, language arts, social emotional learning, and cultural learning into classrooms across Durham.
I just want to point out that we have been partners, Durham Public Schools, with the CAPS program for over 40 years. So I think that's deserves a moment to celebrate. And also just extend gratitude with how grateful we are, Shana, to the Durham Arts Council for these experiences that they have provided our students. So Shana, there are so many exciting artists that have worked with our students in Durham Public Schools. Would you maybe kind of talk through some of the artists that have been in our schools and worked with some of our students?
Absolutely. So, one of our artists, Jody Castle, she is a dance and movement therapist and teaching artist. She has been in DPS schools for so many years, sharing a residency she calls Dancing Math. And she usually does this residency with elementary age students to bridge the movement and dance into helping them to grasp concepts of math such as division, multiplication, fractions. And so the students work with her for over a week, and you can just see the progression of how they take these dances and movements that they create and make their own and weave that into the learning of math concepts. And it's really incredible to see how, towards the end of the residency, there's this new way of thinking about the math that they've learned because they've used their entire body to express these math concepts.
I know that we have many local artists in Durham that have maybe worked with our kids in dance or in music. Also, is there an artist that maybe sticks out in your head that has just done some phenomenal things with our students?
Yes, there are so many phenomenal music artists that we have the pleasure of having on the CAPS roster, such as Shana Tucker, The Beast, headed up by Pierce Freelon, Jolly Chizoko. Many of these amazing artists are members of our community, but also extremely professional in their own right. And so they bring programs to the schools that reinforce social studies. The Beast, their program Sankofa, African American music from spirituals to hip hop, reinforces African American music, and going all the way from the Negro spirituals all the way to the hip hop of today. We also have Jali Sissoko, who is from Senegal in Africa, and he shares his culture and his music, giving students the opportunity to be rhythmic and to play drums and to practice their rhythmic and musical abilities together in collaborative circle.
So Shana, you have talked about some incredible experiences, both for artists in our community that would love to work with our students, maybe as a teaching artist. And you've also talked about these experiences that through our partnership are really transforming the lives of our Durham Public Schools kids. So I've got two questions for you. Number one, if I'm an artist and I want to be involved as a teaching artist through the CAPS program, what do I do? And then if I'm a parent and I want my child to have a teaching artist experience at my school, who do I contact?
Right. So if you are a teaching artist or a aspiring teaching artist or teacher who would like to join the CAPS roster, we have an application process every 2 years to join the CAPS program. And so you would contact me at the Arts Council, and we just set up a time to chat about becoming a part of the roster. If you're a parent and you want to get a CAPS teaching artist into your child's school, then you would also contact me at the Arts Council, and I would put you in touch with your school's arts liaison to help guide the process of bringing that teaching artist to your school. These programs are not only for arts classrooms, visual art, theater, dance. These programs are meant to weave into all classrooms. So if you're a math teacher or a language arts teacher and you see something that can help support your classroom, please reach out to your arts liaison at your school and to me, and we can work out how to make that experience happen at your school.
Shana, there are so many exciting offerings this year with the Durham Arts Council, and we know this year is a bit different with COVID. So tell us, what's the process this year for getting a teaching artist in our classrooms?
So this year, every DPS school will have the opportunity to participate in CAPS. And we have rockstar DPS arts liaisons who are teachers that have been selected at each school who are taking charge of making sure that their schools will have programs. So teachers could just get in touch with the DPS arts liaison at their school to make sure that they have access to CAPS artists. And this year we are offering live virtual programs and pre-recorded experiences with teaching artists.
And I know that you have partnered with several local arts organizations in Durham. Do you want to maybe just kind of share with everybody out there some of those organizations this year?
Sure. So we have partnered with American Dance Festival, ADF, and we will be bringing Rennie Harris's Funkdafied, which is a virtual street arts, street dance funk show from the 1970s. And we've also partnered with Arts Access, where we will partner with them for the Durham Arts Inclusion Project. And that program will place CAPS teaching artists in elementary exceptional children's classrooms.
So if I'm a kid out there, or a parent or a teacher or principal, and I want to learn more about the awesome CAPS program or the Durham Arts Council, what should I do?
Yes, so to learn more about the CAPS program, you can go to durhamarts.org. And that's our main website. And you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Shana, thank you so much. I think it speaks volumes to Durham Public Schools' commitment to a well-rounded education, inclusive of the arts, and our partnership with the Durham Arts Council that has lasted well over 40 years. We're so appreciative to the Arts Council and to you for the support you offer our students. So thank you so much for being here and sharing a little bit about the Arts Council.
Thank you, Jeremy. We are so grateful for this long partnership we've had with Durham Public Schools.